The fact that a portion of this fandom believes that Jax having hit Gangle with a car is plausible, meanwhile they think that a trans femme interpretation of Jax's character is too outlandish. Yeah, I've been feeling that, because, like, I subscribe to that particular interpretation of the character. I think other interpretations are available, as I've said many, many, many times. Like, it's not the only way that you can interpret Jax, but I think it's a very apt interpretation. And every single time I say so, every time I suggest it, even if I go, this is one possible interpretation among many, doesn't matter how much I couch it, doesn't matter how, air quotes, gentle I am about it, how non-pushy I am about it, there's always, always, always at least a few people in the comments being like, oh my god, why is everyone pushing this trans femme Jax theory? Oh my god, it's so implausible. I don't know where that's even coming from. How are you even seeing? And I'm just like, brother, his torture scene with Kane, when Kane was enacting Jax's worst, most horrible fear on him, his fear was to have his outer layer of presentation stripped away and for people to see his inner self and mock it for being something ridiculous and stupid and ugly. And, like, yes, that's a thing that applies to many different emotional experiences, but if you cannot see how that lends itself to a trans reading of the character, trans femme or trans masc, again, I lean towards trans femme, if you cannot see that, then you're just, either you're ignorant or else you're being transphobic. I'm sorry, there are no other options. Again, you don't have to subscribe to it. You don't have to say, yes, this is the interpretation I believe in, but you have to recognize that, okay, this is apt, right? Like, this is one way that you can, this is an available interpretation that a person can have upon seeing not only this scene, but seeing Jax's general behavior throughout the entire show, how desperate he is to hold on to this fake persona that he has created around himself because he is so scared to the point of having panic attacks and being paralyzed. He's so scared of being vulnerable. He's so scared of being seen. He is so scared of letting anyone in because he believes what is inside of him is wrong somehow, or shameful, or unnatural, or ugly. And, like, again, trans identity is not the only reading for that, but it is one of them. It is one of the very, very available ones. And it's so frustrating when people go, oh, where's that even coming from? I can't see. That's completely out of left field. Where are you even getting that? It's like, motherfucker, right? And I'm sure a lot of people they're just not familiar, right? Like, they're just not familiar with, like, the tropes and the narratives and like the sort of storytelling themes that often follow a transgender experience, right? Like, not always, but often. A lot of them are probably just ignorant. Like, they just haven't been exposed to the idea that these things relate to trans themes. But there's a lot of people who are just being obtuse on purpose. There's a lot of people who are just being fucking transphobic. Because that thing of, like, where they're not saying, oh, it's gross that the character is trans, but they're saying, well, I just don't see it. Like, I just can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see, I just don't know where people are getting it. I think it's so out. Like, that little thing, that is just another way to deny the existence of trans identities and to deny the existence of trans themes and trans ideas as a normal part of narrative, as a perfectly normal, ordinary, regular, common part of narrative. To deny that these things exist and are normal and are common and are easy to read into all kinds of stories. Like, you can find trans narratives and trans themes in things that were never intended to have them, because the experience of being trans is not alien to the human condition. It's a part of it, right? Gender shit is a part of the human condition. It's all a part of the human condition. And it comes through in the stories that we tell naturally, in all kinds of places, in all kinds of ways. There's nothing weird or outlandish or out there or freakish or particularly reaching or particularly, like, intense about doing a trans reading of a character in a narrative. That's a very normal thing. That's not an extreme thing. It's something completely and utterly normal. There's nothing freaky about it. It's not out there. It's not outlandish. It's not something that you have to go, oh my god, that's such a weird theory. There must be some weird evidence. Like, no. No, when a person struggles with their identity, when a person feels like who they are inside is not enough, there is an element of like the trans experience in there. There's an element of the closeted queer experience. There's an element of many experiences because these experiences are universal. The human condition is universal. Trans people are not separate and apart from us. They are not some other category, like separated over there by themselves that never touches or intersects with the rest of humanity. They are a normal part of it. And their stories are a normal part of it. And their presence is a normal part of it. We have been convinced otherwise, but that is bullshit. They are just a normal part of the human experience, and reading a character as trans is a normal thing to do. There's nothing outlandish about it whatsoever, but people want to convince you that there is, because that way they don't have to contend with the idea that trans people are real. They don't have to think about it. They don't have to be present in the world, in a world where they have to consider that a trans reading of something, that a trans perspective on something could be valid or even interesting. And again, there are many readings of Jax. You can do any of a number of them. I believe in trans femme Jax. There are people who do very convincing trans masc Jax interpretations. You can interpret him like in terms of things like, I think someone who has borderline personality disorder saying that they see a lot of themselves in Jax, the way that he ping-pongs and like sort of crashes. Like, there are many different readings of the character that are apt, and trans Jax is one of them. And the way that some people just refuse to even recognize it as an option, even recognize it as a reasonable possibility, that shit is some either deliberate or subconscious, unconscious transphobia.